Right. All right. Hello, everyone. Mrs. Mori here.
Hi, Mrs. Gegg here.
And we are here to continue on with Toolbox. As you guys know, we have finished all 12 of our tools, Mrs. Gegg. It already went by that quick.
I know.
And so Mrs. Gegg and I are going to continue on now reviewing 2 tools for the next couple weeks, guys.
Okay. Breathing tool. Great. Let's hear it.
All right. I'm going to move this over so we can see our breathing tool icon. This is pretty cool, guys. We started off with breathing tool. It was one of our very first tools that Mrs. Gegg and I taught everyone. Our slogan for breathing tool is I calm myself and check in. So let's practice our breathing tool hand motion before we move forward. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're going to act as if we're holding a tape measure. We're going to be pulling that tape measure. While we're doing that, we're going to take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. That actually got me a little more calmer, Mrs. Gegg, right now, just practicing that tool.
I feel calm too.
Yes, I love our breathing tool. As you guys see on our screen here, for our breathing tool, a big part of it is helping us kind of find our body awareness. And what that means is that sometimes it's kind of crazy to think this, but we can forget that we're breathing. We kind of naturally can just go on throughout our day and do our normal things that we do, but we can forget the fact that we are actually breathing it. And sometimes it doesn't take much work for us to actually think about the fact that, hey, I should inhale and exhale right now at this moment. So what I like about the breathing tool when it comes to body awareness is it allows us to become more aware of the sensations and needs of our bodies. So this body awareness can let us know if maybe we have a tummy ache, maybe if our muscles are a little tense or we have pain somewhere, maybe we're feeling a little anxious or afraid of something. And sometimes we aren't really able to identify those emotions or feelings. But if we take a moment to actually use our breathing tool and kind of check in with ourselves and say, whoa, hey, I didn't notice in my right toe there, I was having some pain there until I took a moment to stop. I calmed myself down. I was able to check in with myself. And those are things sometimes I can even think, Mrs. Gegg, that I forget to do because I'm a very busybody. I like to do things and I'm moving really quickly, but it's good to stop, take that deep breath, calm down, and to check in.
I like your idea of checking in, Mrs. Mori, because I feel like we tend to worry and get anxious and think about all kinds of things. And when we just think about our breathing, we come back into ourselves.
I love that.
That feels very calming.
I agree. So here are some cool photos Mrs. Gegg and I thought that we can relate to you guys when it comes to using our breathing tool. So we have a baseball player here, and when we also came in the classrooms, we discussed this as well. And sometimes we didn't even notice that actually baseball players do this. Our pitchers here, as you guys see in our photo here, they're the guy that's standing in the diamond right in the middle, and they're going to be holding the ball. And right before they actually decide to throw their ball, they take a nice deep breath in. And it really helps them calm down, check in with themselves, relax, and they're ready to say, this is a big deal. I'm going to throw this ball, and I'm hoping that I'm going to strike this guy out. So I'm going to need to check in with myself to make sure that I'm ready to make this move.
Because if you want to do your best, you don't want to be worrying about something else. You want to be thinking about yourself. And in this case, how you're going to throw the perfect pitch, right?
Yes, exactly. I think the same thing in our second picture here is of this young lady practicing her singing lessons here. And I remember when we actually presented this in the class, a lot of students would say, they felt really anxious when it comes to maybe talking in front of large groups or doing any type of performance. Maybe they're in a play or they're doing a skit, whether it be at school or
Mm-hmm.
at home. And I agree, it can become very nerve-wracking, and you can maybe get a little anxious and get
Yeah.
butterflies, and you can be a little afraid to have to step in front of a large group of people. But one thing is, you have something that you can always have with you that no one can take away from you, and that's your breathing tool. And that's the great thing about all of our tools, is that we physically don't have to carry anything with us with all of our tools. These are things that you guys can use for the rest of your life, and that you can just have within your heart and you can carry with you. So even with our breathing tool, when you might feel those nerves coming, you might have to
Mm-hmm.
ask that big question to your mom or your dad, and you're thinking, oh, they might say no if I'm asking for this new PS4, or I don't know, something that you really want and you're nervous. You can just take a
Mm-hmm.
nice deep breath and say, I can do this. I'm going to check in with myself, calm down, move forward.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how do you practice breathing? So when we breathe, we want to relax. We want to put our hands on our tummy or on our heart, or even just open your hands and lay them on a table, palms up. And the reason we do that is because sometimes we don't realize it, but we hold in tension with our hands and we make fists, or we hold ourselves really tightly. And this just reminds us to hold our hands open, which means that we are open to experiences. So we breathe in through our nose, and then we pause a moment, and then we breathe out, and we can say to ourselves, I calm myself and check in. So when you breathe in and then you hold that breath, you think, what do I notice? What are the sounds around me? What are my feelings? How does my body feel? And we're able to kind of make ourselves more accessible to nature and to anxiety reducing and just to feeling good. So when you use the breathing tool, um, it's really to relax yourself and get in touch with yourself. Now, I'm wondering, Mrs. Mori, when is your favorite time to use the breathing tool?
I think for me, my favorite time to use the breathing tool are moments, maybe when I'm in a disagreement with someone
Mm-hmm.
and I might notice that I need to take a moment to relax and de-escalate myself and kind of calm down, because I think that when, at least when I'm in situations where I notice that I'm maybe having a disagreement with someone,
Hmm.
and I can start to feel the tension there.
Yes,
I might
yes.
say, hey, I need to actually take some time, use my breathing tool right now. And that'd be me just talking to myself, but that would actually help me calm down and check in with myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, so I use the breathing tool probably two different ways. One, I use it kind of what you're talking about is when I feel like maybe I've gotten sort of stressed about something,
Hmm.
and I really need to remind myself to relax. And I really can't just say, relax, relax. I have to do something to help myself relax. So I use it then. And then I also use it when I'm feeling good and I'm outside in nature. And it's just like
Yeah.
I want to capture as much of that as I can. And that's when I want to just breathe in the fresh air and then just hold on to it and then breathe out. I feel like I become a little bit more connected to the trees and the flowers that are around me. So I use that in both situations.
I really like that second example, Mrs. Gegg. It reminds me of kind of mindfulness breathing. I
Yes,
actually just
yes.
was speaking with the students on that. If you guys want to go check that video out, that's a YouTube video that I just recorded this past week on Monday. And that's exactly what I was speaking about too, that mindfulness opportunity to step outside, look around you and have that moment to
Mhm.
check in, but also smell the flowers, notice the leaves around you, notice the fresh air, and have that moment.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So what tool are we looking at next? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our next tool is the Quiet and Safe Place tool. Our slogan for this tool is I remember my quiet or safe place. So our photo here is a picture of headphones. Pretty simple
Mm-hmm.
here. And our hand gesture is going to be putting both of our hands over our ears, kind of like this, and having those headphones on.
It's quiet in here.
Hmm. So with our quiet and safe place tool is a couple of things we have down here are there is always my quiet and safe place. No one can
Mhm.
take this place away from you. This is a place that maybe you physically have been there before, or maybe you've seen it in a movie or a picture and you said, whoa, hey, I've never been there. That's okay, but I want to kind of close my eyes and imagine myself there. And no one can take that away from you. So when you are in an environment, maybe that's right now
Mhm.
you're at home watching this video and you might have a brother or sister around, or maybe you're trying to do homework and focus on different things because we're all on quarantine. And you might say, I'm just going to close my eyes and think of my quiet or safe place. And the great thing about this with all of our tools, guys, is that there's no one that can take these tools away from us.
Mm,
And our last
nice.
one here are earmuffs help us shut out the distractions around us, and they're able to help us concentrate. So that's why we actually chose headphones or earmuffs for our photo for quiet or safe place, because in real life, we actually would put some of those on to shut out the distractions around us, and it helps us focus and we're able to concentrate.
Great. So here are two pictures of quiet and safe places. And for you, everyone has a place or places that they think of when they want to just go to a beautiful spot that's calming, or a place that you remember that you had good memories from,
Mhm.
or just a place where you feel like there's lots of fresh air and you can just breathe in the air. These, just looking at these photos, makes me feel really relaxed
Yes.
and appreciative of nature.
Hmm.
So I think we want to all think about where our quiet and safe place is, not just where in the house or the yard that we feel like we're safe, but what is it that we're imagining when we're in a quiet and safe place. That imagining takes place inside of our mind.
Hmm.
So that's the quiet and safe place inside of ourselves.
Yes.
So today we're going to do a guided meditation, and this simply means that this is um, a relaxation lesson, and it's about learning how to calm your brain and how to use breathing as part of that calming, and how to do this on your own. So we're going to do this together. And then it would be great if you could practice this on your own. And this is something that you don't even need a backpack. You can carry this tool around all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit. I'm sitting, so I'm not going to lie down, but you can sit or you can lie down. And if you're sitting, you want to have your palms open. So wherever they are, they can be on a table or on the lap. And if you're on your back and not lying down, then you might just put your hands on your tummy or your chest, but just loosely. Again, we can hold in stress in our hands, so we just want to have them loose, with our palms open. And so we're going to take some breaths, but first I want you to imagine your place that you're in, and you can imagine a scene in your inside of your mind, or you can just imagine a peaceful feeling, And I want you to imagine that. And you can close your eyes or you can lower your eyes. And I just want you to think about that until this sound goes away. So I'm just going to ring this little brass bowl. Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath in. And when we take this deep breath in, we're going to think, may I be well and happy. And then let your breath out. May others be well and happy. We're using our breathing tool. And again, let's breathe in. May I be well and happy. Hold that breath. Enjoy the peace. May others be well and happy. And one more time, breathe in. May I be well and happy. And breathe out. May others be well and happy. And using this breathing tool and having that quiet and safe place helps us to be well. It helps us to be at peace and to realize that we have these peaceful, contented feelings when we slow down and we think about our breath and we imagine a very beautiful or very peaceful place in our mind, which is the backpack for all of these tools.
That was excellent, Mrs. Gegg. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me share that. I have this beautiful brass bowl.
Very nice.
And it sits on a little felted thing, and then you just...
Oh, that is wonderful. That's so cool. Awesome. This was a great way to end our video today, everyone. Mrs. Gegg and I are so happy that everyone has continued to watch your videos, and we very much appreciate you guys. And we will be back again next week with another video from Toolbox.
Okay, stay safe and well and happy. Bye-bye.